what I'm going to do is talk you through just a little bit of context about what we get up to, then go into some of the detail of what we do in the WLA, and then I will also be inviting some of the members to share their stories, because I think that's always nice to hear what they really think, and I haven't primed any of them, so they will say it as it is, as they usually do. So you'll get to hear from them, and obviously to answer any questions you may have about why you should be a part of our amazing organisation. So let me start by sharing my screen, and hopefully you can all see that if I press the right button. Alrighty, can you all see that all with me? Let's go from the beginning. Yeah. Okay, so WLA has been around for a few years now. We actually had our 9th International Women's Day conference 2 weeks ago, and it was at that very first one where we launched the WLA. And we've been through many forms, and I think Paula, you're on the call, and Paula was at the very first one we did all those years ago, and we have sort of adapted and changed, and I think we've got a brilliant program now. I think we finally settled on a program that is super works for so many people. And I guess context wise, I set it up, so I'm an exec coach. I've been coaching for years and I was passionate about supporting women, so I work with men.
After the benediction, the order of recession will be the clergy.
We might need to mute somebody. Thank you. Welcome to you, and thank you for muting. That's great. So where was I? Yeah. So and the reason for setting it up was to support women and to provide for corporate women. That's very much, and I think it's really important I share that, because sometimes we have entrepreneurs. We do have some entrepreneurs in the program actually, but we are very much geared to helping women develop their leadership, develop their confidence, their courage, and women who are seeking a network of support to move things forward. So yeah, I think it's just important that there are many women leaders programs out there, and there's lots of entrepreneur programs out there and coaching programs, but we're very much about focused on women who work in corporate organizations. So just want to make that clear up front. So in terms of statistics, those of you at the conference will recognize these. So we had good news to share at the conference, in that the FTSE 350 has hit 40% females on boards, and that's 3 years ahead of the deadline that was set, and that's an impressive target pretty. I don't think there are any all-male boards anymore in the FTSE 350, and this sort of came about in about 2011, so it's pretty rapid progress, and it's all been done through involuntary voluntary targets, and in terms of the leadership, so as opposed to non-exec directors, in terms of the leadership roles, 1/3 of all leadership roles are now held by women. So we have made really good progress, which is good news. But when you look at the functional roles in corporate, then we are still we're still very higgledy-piggledy is the picture. Most of the FTSE roles to women are in the HR space, so 75% of the HR space. Company space is also 50%. When you look at the finance director roles, we're at 17, and CIO roles at 12. And then when you look at the CEO roles, I think we're as low as 8. So some of the big hitting roles are still very much male driven. So we obviously want to help attract and retain more women to come into organizations. And I know not every woman wants to get to the top, that's not what is on every woman's radar, but many women do want to have a fulfilling career and want to feel that respect, that value, and that courage and confidence to live a life that isn't just fully about work. So they were a couple of stats I just wanted to share with you. And I think a couple of other things. This is not to down the men, but typically men will believe that they are really good. They will overestimate how good they are in terms of their skills and performance, whereas women will, guess what, underestimate how good we are. It's a sort of, I don't know why, and that's a very broad brush, I know, in terms of men and women, but there is this sort of sense that women will not value many of their skills and capabilities that they have. And of course, we know about the gender pay gap, and that it's revealed that there aren't enough female leaders, which is making all sorts of indiscrepancies, if you like, across the board, because many organizations have got more female leaders in lower roles and then others have got fewer towards the top. But we know again that we still need to be building out the pipeline. And then the other thing I believe to be true with the women I've worked with over the many years, that no matter what industry women are in, what sector of society women work in, I see these beliefs being true. So I'll give you, if you can relate to any of them, we overemphasize our expertise. So we believe our technical ability will get us to the top. And actually, we've got to develop other skills, not just our expertise skills. We suffer from imposter syndrome. Now, men do as well. Women feel it more and have a harder beating up of self is the best way I can put that through, and that kind of who me. Many women will keep saying yes to everything. They'll take every opportunity they can, and then they end up burning out, overthinking everything. I don't know if any of these are resonating with any of you. Let me know. Focusing on the here and now, not wanting to put your hand up, and seeking the opinions of others, comparing ourselves to other women and other men and putting ourselves down. So I'm just going to stop that for a second, because I'd like to hear whether that resonates with anybody. Anybody willing to either pop in the chat or tell me? Hello, Anna, nice to see you.
Hi.
Yeah, anybody want to share? Any resonance? Yeah. Does that mean I'm completely a million miles off and that none of you feel any of that?
No, we do.
Yeah.
Thank you, Anna. Thank you. Yeah, no, I was hoping so, unless the world's changed in the last few months. Yeah, that's good. Tracy, hello. Did you want to say anything?
Yeah, I was just going to say I can put my hand up to every single one of those. Absolutely. Oh. Absolutely. And through speaking to friends and colleagues, they can certainly put their hands up too. But I think it's changing. And I definitely think, groups like this to support each other is fabulous. So exciting times.
Yeah, no, I agree, Tracy. Yeah, there's still too many women for me on the verge of burnout, though, and it does worry me. There's too many women bailing out of work because they don't think they're good enough, or they are in an environment that doesn't bring the best out of them. And there's many sort of subcomponents that we need to address.
I do have a little quick story for you. It was my very first interview. Was I went to be an apiarist at the local agricultural college, which is for beekeeping. And I still have the letter which says that they weren't going to give me the job because it was more suited to a male person.
Oh my goodness.
So I've had that. And it's always been a male dominated environment I've been in. Horticulture, landscaping, horse racing, everything. It was always male dominated, and we always have to work. Personally, I've felt 2 or 3 times as hard to get there. No disrespect to the gentleman on board, but that's my experience. But always keep positive. I always feel that, you just keep going and you will get there.
I agree with that. And actually, it's not about, I'm definitely not into attacking men about any of this. I think where I want to go is find the male allies, really, that will work with us, who get it.
I have loads of them, which has helped.
Yeah, definitely helped our career. Helen, you have your hand up.
No, it's just to say that I agree with, definitely with the perspectives shared, and that I know for myself that it's definitely a case where you're like, oh, you read a CV, not CV, you read like a job description and you're like, oh, I can't do all of that. And then you're like, but I have transferable skills, I can do that. And I'm sure it's your natural reaction is I can't do everything, so I can't apply. But it's, just a measure, tempering that, I suppose.
Thank you, Helen, for sharing that. Okay, great. So we can relate to some of that, which is brilliant. Really good. So I think I sort of put this on. I mean, there's lots and lots of different ways we can cut this, and I will explain how the WLA supports all of this. But what we do know is there's a yin and a yang going on. So there's the external environment in which we're in, the environment in which we're in, the boss we work for, the demands that are placed on us, our ability to keep saying yes. We get very stuck in our head. we are, you know, managing everything at home, etc. So there's a lot going on in the external environment, and we have things like bias in the workplace as well, and there are things that are inhibiting us. But I believe strongly that we have our own internal environment that we have to work on. So we have to work on that inner critic. We have to work on shifting our beliefs and really tapping into our core values. We have to really get clear on what we're great at and what our potential is, and we have to have the strategies to deal with our stress and deal with our resilience. And with all of that, I believe that you have to develop and a kind of align the way in which you do it. So the skills you're going to need to help. So how do you set proper boundaries in that environment? How do you ask for what you want? It's easier to ask for other people, isn't it, than often asking for ourselves. How do you build the right kind of network and power base? How do you start to influence and create that kind of impact? So there's a lot of skills and tactics and approaches that you need in order to deal with not only the external environment that you've got, but the internal environment. And this is what I think we do brilliantly in the WLA. And I say that unashamedly, because we've worked really hard over the years to create the right curriculum and the right approach and the right community to enable that to happen. So you're not on your own if you're feeling a little out of sorts, or because it could be a whole heap of things that you need to look at and to work at. So yeah. Does that resonate with people? I have to keep stopping the share. Yeah, does that sort of, people can relate, which is important for me. Yeah, good stuff. Okay. Already. Wait a minute, I'm getting myself confused. Right. Oh, yeah, I've forgotten I put this one in. This is the kind of, what do you see when you look in the mirror, girls, and the couple of chaps who are on? You see a lovely, big, powerful, courageous lion. We did a masterclass yesterday, didn't we, those of you on the call, and I found a cartoon of a woman looking in a mirror, and she's beautiful, and she looks in the mirror and sees some old fat woman, and you see a guy who's a bit overweight looking in the mirror, and he sees himself as some sort of 20-year-old kind of gorgeous man. It's quite funny. Who do you see yourself how do you see yourself when you look in the mirror? And of course, what we want to do in the WLA is for you to see yourself as a lion, but a lovely lion, not a fierce, horrible one. And for me, we talked a lot about this at the conference, was around, for me, the WLA is all about rebalancing away from everybody being so stuck in their head to bringing the heart back into the workplace. So it's about, how do we start to feel our way through? How do we, and I'll share some qualities, actually, I think we've got them on here. Yeah, for me, heart-based leadership is about empathy, it's about creativity, it's about connection, it's about how we co-create things together, it's about partnership. Look at all my C's. It's about curiosity and collaboration and courage. And when we start to lead from the heart, everything around us starts to change. I see it again and again and again with people. You know, we've lived in an environment that's been very head-based for a very long time, and it's over-indexed for me now. And I think there's this wonderful shift happening in the world where we are rebalancing and really getting lots of collaborations and connections, and helping women to tap into what their heart is telling them, what their intuition is telling them, and not just about what the right process is and what the right structure and focus needs to be. So I guess that's the context I wanted to share with you, really, around what we are, what we're about in the WLA. And we've done a recent rebrand because I personally feel that we awaken women's potential, we awaken your leadership within, we help you to see yourself as a much bigger, better, more impactful, wonderful human being than you really ever knew you could be. And we do see that again and again. So I am going to just invite a couple of members to speak now. I'm going to then take you through all the features of what we do and what we get up to. Hello, Charlie Wally, nice for you to join us, and Kathleen, hello. So yes, which of the members would like to share a little bit about that whole heart and head, first of all? I don't mind. I know, Claire Roberts, you have to go, don't you, shortly? So I don't know if you want to say a few words to that.
Yeah, sure. I didn't really even think about leading by the heart. Before I joined the WLA, I thought it was work, work, work. Everything's got to be, that's how it's got to be done. And it wasn't until I met the lovely Sandra and joined the WLA that I realised there's so much more to leadership than just the job. And it's being your authentic self as well. And I think that from the masterclasses and everything that the WLA offers, that came out, that to be authentic, it's not just this is my work persona, this is how I do it. It's all in my, through my head. And awakened the leadership from the heart as well, to be authentic, really use those feminine traits in my leadership style. And as a consequence, I think I'm a much better leader, to be honest. So I've achieved all that through my WLA membership. So I think, Sandra, I think that sort of covers it on my side.
Yeah, no, thank you, Claire. Absolutely, completely agree with that. And it doesn't, I think it's important to say, it doesn't just happen, does it? You've got to, you know, we kind of push each other, don't we? We sort of we have to sit on the edge of our comfort zone and then embrace something, you know. We have to go, oh, it's like sitting on the edge and jumping in, and then realizing, yes, of course you can do it. And that's what you've done, because you got a nice promotion too, didn't you, in the last
I did
last year?
Yes.
We see that a lot, by the way. Claire Hill, you have your hand up too.
Yeah, I guess just to give a little bit of background from my perspective. So I think when I reached a certain level in my career, I felt the people that I was working with, the leadership teams that I was working with, were very male dominated, and I felt very much that I had to be I think I had to be one of the boys effectively. So it was kind of, it was a case of, if I can't beat them, I'll join them. And I adapted my style to be more of a leader in a male dominated environment, which was really difficult when you're playing a role all the time, instead of being your authentic self. And I think I joined the WLA, and I joined for a specific reason, because I had taken a bit of a knock in my career, which has always been very successful, but I think the little knocks do get to you. And I think there was a point when there was suddenly almost an enlightening moment, and it was like an awakening to say, actually, being my true self, being my authentic self, bringing my heart, bringing all the qualities that I think are the strengths that women leaders bring to an exec table or a senior leadership team or in any leadership capacity, makes me a better leader. So it's a little bit like Claire, that I felt I needed to go through that and talk with like-minded women and ensure that I gained the confidence to be my true authentic self. And sometimes it sounds a little bit cliche, but I think until you're part of a team where women genuinely have your back, genuinely want to get the best out of you, offer fantastic support, and even just talking about their own journeys and sharing some of the things that work for us as in our own environments, you get so much from it, and you don't have that opportunity, I think, in a workplace as much. So I certainly have benefited an awful lot from it.
Yeah, thanks, Claire. And we love having you in the gang.
Thank you.
No, that's great. Okay, let me share some of the features of the WLA then, and what do you actually get for being a member and how all that works. So all right, so I set up with these 3 intentions, and I think they're still absolutely true today. There's this piece around helping the women tap into their heart and their authenticity. I really wanted to, being an executive and leadership coach for so long, I kind of started to see the patterns, and I started to understand what it was that women needed. I also really wanted the right community. You know, there's often there's an anticipation, an anxiety. Is it that strong when you think about a women's network? It's kind of like, oh God, do I want to be with the women, and what's it going to be like? And I really wanted this sort of authentic supporting of one another. And I believe we've got that. I think we laugh together, we cry together, we push each other, we celebrate everything people are doing. And that was really important to me, that the curriculum was, the community was as important as the curriculum that we did. And I also set it up because I know women love to give back. So how do we give back to one another? How do we give back to society and community? So we're all about encouraging those 3 things. And that still stands true for me today, as it did all those years ago. And I wanted to share this because I just loved this when we went out to members and asked them, what do you really think? And we just got this kind of, it's changed my life, it's life changing, and we didn't prompt this at all, I promise you. The list of benefits are endless. I've rediscovered myself, I've uncovered I'm braver, I'm stronger. It's challenged my thinking, it's pushed and inspired me. You know, it goes on, literally on and on and on. And every week we get emails from members telling us about how the WLA has supported and helped them, and just to see the kind of the motivation, the happiness, the joy, the stretch that our members are putting themselves through is just, it's brilliant. It's brilliant. It just makes me very happy. Yeah, so there's a few there. So promotions, pay rises, projects. We've got our awards, have we not, Claire Smith? I'll come to you in a minute. Let me run through some of the features and then you can talk about that one if you like. We've got more members speaking at conferences, having the confidence to speak at even their own boardrooms and their own influencing their own senior leaders and direction and putting their hands up to more things. And we've also had examples of collaborations. And I know Paula will be able to talk to that in a minute. But there's achievements all the time. It's not, as I say, it's not all about everybody getting to the top, but it is about, for me, we help women become the best version of themselves. Women show up differently in the workplace. That has a ripple effect on the teams they work with, on their peers, and on those looking up towards women. And we want to see, we know we need to see more women in the pipeline. We know we've got to do something. And I think the way we do that really enables a woman to own it, to drive it, and to take the whole responsibility for it, which this is one of the things I say I really do love about what we do. We have an ambassador program, so I'm really proud of this in that we have a number of senior leaders, men and women, who really want to help and support the program as well. So we have that going on. But let me tell you about what we do. So we have every month we do a live masterclass. So we take the curriculum, we make them 90 minutes, so it's hopefully not too long for you out of the business, and they're all recorded anyway. But they're this year our whole focus is on leadership. Last year it was more around self-development, self-improvement, and I think we've got the oh no, I haven't, I've got them later. I'll tell you what they are actually in a little while in terms of what's coming up this year, so you can see whether they talk to you and whether they resonate with you. We've also got, every month we do a live productivity power hour, because I believe women get too overwhelmed and take on too much and we lose sight of where we are and where we're going. So we, every month on the first of the month, unless it's a weekend, we do a session on celebrations. So what are we doing really well? Because as women, we don't tend to celebrate what we're doing. And then we talk about what is it that you're going to focus on over the next month, and what are the goals. And what we also do is align that back at the beginning of every year. We do an annual planning day. So we map out your whole life and all your goals around your life, and then we help you develop and achieve them throughout the year. So it's a really nice, it's an hour, that's all, and you get refocused again in terms of where you're heading. We've got an online library, so a membership site with tons of stuff. I mean, there's any skill, anything you need, you will find it in there, because there's years of material in there. We've also got our International Women's Day, which we've just had, and members get discounted tickets to that. And I know they could probably talk about that for a while, because it was a pretty good day. We obviously have our amazing community that we link in lots of different ways we connect, but we have a private LinkedIn group for that. The planning day, I think I mentioned. We also have an accountability buddy program. So we hook you up with another woman from another organization, and we change that every quarter. That's if we can, because the members, between you and me, the members get to love their partner and they don't want to give them up. So we do encourage you to meet a new woman, and you hold each other to account on your goals. So you're there, and you obviously form friendships, and some of them you'll form very deep friendships, and others it's more of a sort of just help me get to where I need to get to over the next few weeks. But we help you with that. What else do we have? And then in terms of the onboarding, when you join us, we'll help you map out your leadership plan, and we'll help you sort of navigate the whole process. We also send you a little something in the post. And this is the curriculum we follow. So we use a 4 energy model. So we look at the whole leadership perspective, from your physical well-being and everything you need to do around self-care, to your mental resilience and your clarity of direction in terms of where you're going, to your emotional intelligence and how do you read your emotions, how do you build the relationships you need to build. And we also touch on the spiritual side as well. So that's about who you are as a leader and what's your legacy and where are you going. So whilst this is what we do in terms of our curriculum, we address each of these every month. So you're building up your knowledge base and you will draw the things that you need to help you be the best leader you can. We also have, so twice a month, we do a member update where we talk about what's going on within the programme. We talk about members share any particular news that they've got. We're going to start doing some business updates in those as well. That's a new feature. We've got one of the members is taking on responsibility for some socials. So she's looking at creating some member socials. We've got forums and we've got our book club as well. So we really do try and keep you abreast as much as we can. Here's the curriculum this year. So we're going to do MBTI this in April. We're going to talk about engagement in May, reward and recognition in June, conflict handling, going to touch on that, how to manage up, that's a good one, how to work with your teams to get high performance if you've got a team, influencing, how to actually get what you want, how do we do that, using storytelling. And then December's one is usually a review of the whole year. Right, I'll talk about the bonuses in a minute. I'm going to stop the share because I want to hear from Claire Smith and from Paula, and I also would like to take some questions about what you want to ask. Claire Smith.
Hi everyone. First of all, you don't have to be called Claire to be a member. Just want to highlight that, so it's okay. But if you are called Claire, you're in great company. So look, tell a little bit about my story. I joined the WLA because my confidence had taken a knock, and I found that I joined a community of women that absolutely helped me get back on track, build my confidence back up, and actually extend far beyond the role within my job. And as Claire Roberts said, it was more about expanding what's within the heart. And through being part of the WLA, absolutely my career has got back on track, and I got a promotion and I'm in a role I love, and all that's fantastic. But also the benefits I probably didn't anticipate. I'm a better person in my home life. I'm a better friend. I'm a better sister. And I think if you've not already taken the step to join, you won't regret it. And Paula and Claire are going to smile when I say the WLA. Go on, Paula. You must be able to fill in the next line. What has the WLA done for me? Paula's going to help me out here and finish my line. I just can't go it. Paula, what's the WLA done for me?
Exactly. Oh, it's just actually, it's brought you back. You've got a smile on your face every single day. It's so beaming and you're just full of life and joy. It's amazing. Yeah. It's absolutely just really, you've just stepped right forward, embraced who you're going to be. And to be honest, you are just who you are, and you don't give a that's what anybody else says. This is where you are, and this is where you're going. And come with me or off you top.
Thank you so much, Paula. This group will help you get there. And just for going hand over to Paula, Sandra, one of my biggest takeaways, which links into what you were saying, is I no longer join in to fit in. I am my authentic self. And Claire Hill, honestly, when you were saying then about trying to fit in a male-dominated environment, just I look around me and think I don't need to join in to fit in. I'm going to lead by example on my values and what I believe in. And that's thanks to this community and the power of the WLA. It really is.
Thank you, Claire. Can I just talk to the point that when you first joined, because we get this quite often, it's that sort of, right, okay, I'm in, but what is it really about? And I don't know if I want to be in. I might put my toe in and I might not, because I think you were there, weren't you, initially? Do you want to just talk to that?
My gym going analogy. So when I was invited to find out about the WLA, another great member, Mel, said, join the WLA, you'll improve your leadership skills, you'll definitely become a great leader. You've got to join the WLA, so just pay your money every month and you'll be a great leader. And that's what I did. I paid the money every month and didn't show up. Dipped in and out of the odd masterclass, dipped in and out of the odd productivity hour, and wondered why after 8 months, nothing had really changed. So all those people that pay their gym membership don't go and wonder why they're not as fit as they want to be. That was me with the WLA, and 18 months on of showing up and committing to that time for me and my development and my personal growth has paid off dividends from my career, my personal life. And as Sandra said, we've won a couple of awards along the way for the role I do. So honestly, if you're thinking about getting involved, do it, embrace it, make the time for yourself, because you won't regret it. I certainly haven't.
Thank you. So Paula has been around with me for quite some time, haven't you, Paula? We're getting a few wrinkles between us now. And you are also one of our ambassadors as well as a member, and an all-round amazing woman. And so you can probably speak from really from the heart, from all the changes and that you've had and the benefits you've gained.
Yeah, so just a little bit about why I joined the WLA. I mean, as Sandra said, I was right at that very first meeting, and I met Sandra just before that as on a coaching level, because I work for a charity and I've been there 26 years, and then 15 years ago I was offered the role of CEO, which I never thought I was gonna, that's not what I was. My background is HR, so I was always in a very supportive role and back of office, but I was approached by the trustees and asked to take this role, and I was like, I can't do that. I don't know how to do that. Flipping heck, how am I going to do that? I haven't got a clue. And it was really quite a surreal experience to be in, because I left on a Friday with all the rest of my senior managers as like one of them, and then Monday I come in and I was the CEO, and everybody was like, well, you must know the answer. What do we do now? And I was like, oh, give us a break. I haven't become Wonder Woman over the weekend. So it was a real journey for me, and I really struggled, because I perceived that this role, I had to step into this role and become this really superwoman who could do everything and just know everything. It was a weakness to think I didn't know the answer to that question, whatever it was. And I just started to lose myself. And what happened, I just became really indecisive. So I couldn't make a decision. I couldn't move forward. I just felt I was stuck, because I was like, oh, is that right? Oh, I don't know whether it is right. I just lost my own self-worth and belief and understanding of I knew the answer, but I just couldn't move forward. And I met the lovely Sandra, and clearly she gave me a few slaps around the face and said, behave yourself and move forward. Because my biggest thing was saying, as the other ladies have said, yes, I want to do this role, I want to do it well, but I don't want to change who I am. I wanted to do it who I am, me, Paula, and I didn't want to lose myself. And I felt I was losing myself and becoming, here's Paula in work and here's Paula at home, and it just didn't gel for me. So again, I mean, I didn't know anything about leading with your heart or your head or whatever, but that's what I've learned. And I've learned really that, like the other ladies have said, being authentic is where you bring people with you, because they appreciate the vulnerability. They appreciate that you're approachable. They appreciate that you're human, and you are, leading by example and saying, look, we can all do this. And that's how you get the best out of whether you're managing a board or sitting on a board, or whether you're bringing your team with you. It is actually showing who you are, living by your values. You're happier, everybody around you happier, as Claire says, you become a better person, but your whole team and working environment there's no toxicity. It's a really pleasant place to be. And there's nothing more fulfilling than when you do a 360-degree appraisal. And Sandra knows I've done it a lot. I do quite like doing it. And the feedback you get is it's a great place to work. And people say that. And it's not just because I'm giving them £10 to say it. It is basically they enjoy and feel that they can make mistakes and they grow from the mistakes. And it's not this horrible. And it is then just about you leading from yourself. But I also just wanted to touch, and I can talk for England, I'm sorry about this, but once I get on my platform, you'll never get me off, about what else I've learned. So from a corporate point of view, I'm a charity, and we have developed a couple of corporate partners with a joint working. So one of my lovely accountability buddies was Sarah Wixie, who works for Virtuous Energy, sustainability, and looking about turning everything to electric and making things more sustainable. So we talked to her when I said about we were doing community engagement work, and we're traveling all over the country raising awareness and working with NHS England about targeted lung health checks. they work together, so they've donated us an electric van, and we've jointly branded it. So branded it with them, with Zaptec, who do the electric points everywhere, and it's amazing. So that was one partnership, and we're advertising them. We're advertising the sustainability. We're advertising that, yeah, a electric van. You know, went to Swindon. Woohoo! Only one charge. It was amazing, and everybody was going, "Oh, you'll never get it anywhere," but we can, and it's brilliant. So that's a really nice one. And the other one is Claire Davro asked me when she moved to her new pharma company. She's head of a global pharma, Sandox, who do drugs for people, but they do non-branded drugs. So they do drugs that are just as effective, but basically because they're not branded Pfizer or AstraZeneca, they're a lot cheaper and more accessible. So they do it all over the world. So not just the UK, they do Europe and all that. Anyway, she asked me to do a talk about what we did in that at one of their R&D development meetings, which I did. And from that, what's happened now is they've approached us, Sandox, and they're working with our patient network group in actually getting the patient's voice on their R&D development work. So really making their scientists just stop and lift up from the bench and take into account and think, okay, what works for the patient? What is the best way for the patient to be accessing these drugs? Is it easier in tablet form? Is it easier in a liquid form? So, and that is just going to be huge, not just for our charity, but going forward for different clinical trials. It's just getting that patient accessible voice. So they're just two huge collaborations that we've had that are going to make such a huge difference. It's all around to the WLA.
Thanks, Paula. And I think it's important to say that it's not all about that kind of thing, is it? Because we have members at all levels, don't we?
Yes.
Members that sort of, we have women at not quite starting out a career. I think they tend to be mid managers and upwards. It tends to be where we are. And as I say, that's what I love to hear, the collaborations that go on. And there's all sorts of things going on like that. But that's not the kind of the core purpose is to help every woman see themselves as the best version of themselves, because once you get into that zone, as Paula has, everything else starts to happen. All the connections and the collaborations and all of the lovely stuff that we do starts to happen. So yeah, no, thank you very much for that. I will talk about what we're offering and how much it is. I'm sure you want to know how much it is to join. And before I do, has anybody got any questions so far on the programme, or anything to do with the WLA that they've heard so far or not heard?
So Tessa's got a question in the chat about what time the masterclasses are.
Oh dear.
What time are the masterclasses?
We do them at I giggle because I often get the dates wrong with the WLA with our members. So the time is always 12 o'clock. So we always pick it over a lunchtime, 12 till 1:30. So they're 90 minutes, but they're different days of the week and different weeks. So hopefully that answers your question. How long has it been going? Oh, how long has it been going? We've been going since 2015. Yeah, 2015. So we've been around a bit, I have to say. Right, let me tell you what we're doing and then what you can get from being a member. Oh gosh, hold on a minute. Share my screen. All right, so in terms of joining us then, we've got a couple of bonuses that we like to give out. So a couple of years ago through COVID, actually, we did, I was quite proud of this actually. It was one of those ideas that I often get my ideas in the middle of the night. And it was literally within the first few weeks of the first lockdown. And I thought, we need to do something for people. They're all stuck at home. What can we do? So we put out, we called it a leadership festival. It was over 2 weeks. We had about 3 speakers a day on every possible topic to do with leadership, and it was extraordinary actually. And that we had tons of people come to it, and people found it incredibly helpful to be in a big community where we're all going through the same thing. So we recorded all of those sessions, and there's a lot of them. You get to get those bonuses. We also have a tracker that we're going to be turning it into a handbook, actually, hopefully this year. So we're testing out our planner at the moment, which is aligning your goals. So you've got a lovely branded deck of stuff in terms of where are you heading, how you're tracking them each month. We have a lovely sort of red, amber, green way that you can visually see the progress that you are making. So you get the value of that too. And then if you decide to join for the full year rather than pay monthly, we also give you, we did another amazing program, a career makeover program, which has helped so many women get clear in terms of the direction of travel, in terms of where they want to go, and many landed new jobs and so on. So you would also get that if you sign up for the year. So in terms of the amount, our annual membership is £900 plus VAT. And the monthly membership is £75 plus VAT each month. Now, we are putting the prices up from the 1st of April. I have not put the prices up for about 2 years, and I'm sick to death. Even, I think the bloody council tax came through this morning with, we've had to put the prices up. So we will be putting our prices up, but that will only happen on the 1st of April. We also have a program where we have a sort of, we open and close the doors. So you can't join the membership when you fancy, because we want to bring you all together as a group. We want to integrate you with the current membership. So we open the doors about 3 times a year. The next time will probably be in July. And it will be at a higher price. So if you are thinking about it, then join us. And there's no commitment. If you just join us for a month and go, so be it. We would obviously love you to join and stay with us for a longer time, but that's the plan. Yeah, so prices are going up. And if you do want to go, I'll share the website with you in a second. Just go on the website. All the details are there in order for you to get started. And we've got an onboarding call happening next week. If it's corporate membership, because many of our members get paid for by their corporate, that's fine. We can raise invoices as well, but we will be closing the doors at the end of the month. So if you need to do that, you need to act quick. Other people pay for it and then claim it back internally. So that's another thing you might want to do. Or if you're a corporate watching this, we do have corporate memberships as well for people who might want to join us. So let me stop the share there, and I'm going to just bring up the website so that you can see. Just bear with me a minute. Right, okay. Just bear with me a second. Actually, I'm going to do it this way here. So if you go onto our website, which is the WLA.com, and you can join us. It says membership is now open, and if we click this one, I think this will take you through to the now this is the old web page, I think, because we've got to click through. So let me just share. Sorry guys, let me just get the right one up for you. Let me do it's here, that's where I want to get to, on the website, and you will get the links of these in the recording afterwards. Yeah, so if I share that one with you, you can see that if you click through here and then join the WLA today, that's where you will be able to sign up and get your and pay for it, and you're in. Away you are, you'll be straight in with that's everything that you get that I've talked through, the bonuses that you get, the different options that you get, and there you go. So that's thewla.com. If someone can put that in the chat, that would be super. So questions then, questions, comments, anybody want to ask me anything? Yes, Tessa, we can help you with that. Definitely. We can absolutely help you with those requests. What I would say, it will depend on how bought in your organisation is to this kind of thing. So for some, they might make you go through 1,000,001 hoops because they don't get it. Others, it's like, yeah, great, go for it. So we probably would have a conversation with you, if you like, Tessa, just to help understand where you're at. And if you wanted to sort of start and join us, so you're in, and then we can help you get the corporate backing. That can often work that way. Deborah, hello.
Hello. I just wanted to ask that I feel like everything that you've described is perfect for what I want to be, but I'm in a slightly different position in the fact that I am self-employed. But what I employ now 22 ladies, and I'm building up a team, and I've learned quite a lot, but obviously there's still a lot I have to learn from being sort of working on my own and sorting myself out. And I want to bring my 4 senior ladies, I want to start to do something with them that will allow me to empower them to make the decisions, empower them to become confident and have the self-belief that they, you know, they can actually do the things that I want them to do, and that I'm giving them authority to do. So I wondered if, so technically it's my company, this would be something that would suit us. That's my question, or suit me.
So I'm not sure what the question is in all of that. What I heard was,
yeah,
you like it and you can see value in it. You're in a different place because you're running your own business. You're working with a load of women, which I love. Well done,
yeah.
you. And there's 4 in particular that you think would be of benefit. That's what I think I heard. And
yeah.
Well, all I'm thinking is absolutely yes. If you want women to be more, take more responsibility for their decisions, if you want women to value themselves more, that's absolutely what we do completely.
So would we be talking about individual memberships for 4 or 5 of us? Or...
I see. Yeah. Well, we can do it. So we could look at doing a corporate one for you if you like.
Oh, great. Okay.
Yeah. So if you
I'll join anyway, and then we can talk about it. Is that all right?
Yeah.
Great.
That'll be lovely. Yeah. Thanks, Deborah. We'll make sure we've got your email. I think if Helen, could you in the chat box, could you just put your email to Helen or support at the WLA or whatever we are, and then we'll do a follow-up with you afterwards. Yeah, that's
brilliant.
Lovely. Thank you. Claire, did you have your hand? Were you going to add anything then?
I think I misread Deborah's question. I was just going to say there's me and I think 6 others from MAB, Deborah, that have joined. So I've joined, and there's a whole different levels of people from the business who've joined off the back of me banging on about the benefits you get.
Show off, women.
We're all at different levels within MAB. So whether you're at level as the owner of the business, or you've got leaders you want to bring up to, you know, to expand their personal professional development, we're doing similar, and it's working.
Thanks, Claire. Thank you. Helen, how can I help you?
Hi. So I've been obviously working for a long time, but at the moment I'm in between jobs. I'm actually meant to be is the operative word, looking for a new role, but I'm kind of lacking a little bit of motivation, I suppose, apart from financial, clearly. I wonder, is this the kind of environment that's set up for? Because obviously this is very much seems to be targeted at leadership, obviously, you know, back in the corporate world, etc. But do you have people in my kind of position?
I was just thinking about Eva. Who knows Eva? Paula, do you want to talk to that? Eva was one of the members who were almost exactly in your position, Helen.
Yeah, I think it's a great opportunity for you to, because it is about you. So it's about really joining and finding you again. What is it that you want to do? Where is it you want to go? What stage are you in your life? And, you know, it might not be about work. It might be about, well, no, I don't want to do that type of job, but this is what I want to do. It's about just reconnecting with your values and what is important to you and what makes you happy. You know, what is it that's going to make you have a smile as big as Claire's every morning when you get up? And I think you don't have to be in a role to come here, because it's as much as about discovering and finding yourself as it is about whether you want to progress in your role, whether you're happy in your role, whether you just want to change your role, or whether you just want to find yourself. Because Sandra said Eva joined us and she was in between roles, shall we say, and she wasn't sure what she wanted to do or where she was going, and she was really quite, I just don't know. But it didn't take her long to figure out exactly what she wanted to do, what made her happy, and she's flying now.
Well, she actually got a job through the WLA.
Yes, that's right, she did. Yeah. Amazing. So it's
And
about the
she moved her whole
connections you
life,
make.
didn't she? She moved from London up to the north.
Yeah. She's moved up north.
Yeah. Hopefully,
so I think definitely it would benefit you, definitely.
And there's actually tons of HR people in the program, Helen, who
could help you
with sort of CVs and LinkedIn.
That's my problem. I am HR.
Oh well, I'll have to hook you up with Claire Smith because she's HR.
Thank you.
Deborah, you still have your hand up. Did you have another question? No. Okay, just checking. So Anna, can I come to you?
Hi. Can you hear me? Hi.
Yeah.
Well, it's a great pleasure to listen all these incredible stories of these amazing women and sharing openly the fear, the anxiety, and the dreams. So thank you for for this. I'm an artist, and I work as an illustrator and writer, and I work with visual mapping. So I visualize ideas, harvesting thoughts and insight. So this is really much my passion. I've been working for so many years. And I do resonate a lot with the confidence and the courage, and the confidence comes and go, and we need so much support with intelligent women, and we need to share feedbacks, we need to connect more. So I do resonate that a lot. And so one of the things is, how can I help this extraordinary platform, Sandra? And two, is if I wanted to talk about your beautiful platform and share this discussion with you, what is offering apart from this amazing support and sharing ideas, is it there are webinars, there are coaching session, there are what is more on the WLA that I can share with my great friends.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Anna. I appreciate that. And well done. We did have a visual facilitator at one of the conferences, actually, who did the thing, and it was amazing. And that was quite a few years ago. So yeah, absolutely. We do very little in person. We will have a few more things happening this year, but we're predominantly online. And then we can touch women wherever you are. We haven't got all the worry about travel and so on. So there's a potential opportunity there. And I think it's probably worth a follow-up call to talk about the ins and outs of what else we do. But and I think it's really important that we are focused on corporate. I don't want to mislead anybody to think that there's some really good, if people are entrepreneurs wanting entrepreneur support, I think there's some really good ones that will help you grow the business side of things, whereas we will focus on your courage and your aspirations and how to influence, negotiate and work your way through the ladder. That's very much where we are. So if you have friends in that zone, then that would be worth it. So just drop a note to support at the WLA, Anna, and we can follow it up from there.
Thank you, Sandra.
Pleasure. Pleasure. Anybody else? Oh, Barbara, hello. Yes, I think you're under mute, off the mute. Barbara, did you wish to speak?
Yeah, sorry, I didn't get it.
No, that's fine.
Sorry, technically inept. You talk about how you are good for the corporate environment, and now I'm an IT contractor, and I do 5-year-long contracts, and I'm just coming to the end of one. So I do work in the corporate environment, mainly pharmaceutical, GSK, that sort of thing. And I really need some help at the moment because I don't really know which way to go, what sort of contract I want. And I think that this would be the right environment for me. But I just wanted to check if I'm in that, if I'm a limited company who goes in and contracts to other companies, is it the right place for me to get help in understanding where I want to go now at this stage of my life, career-wise?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think so where I'm at with you is that absolutely for 50% and maybe not for the other 50%. So I think what we do is we are all corporates, and the opportunities, and you know the language, you understand the setup, we can help you with your career decisions, we can help you map where you want to go to next, and because you understand that market that we're in, and we understand it, and there's obviously all the connections as well that exist within the environment. The bit that isn't is about that you are because you are on your own. Some of the masterclasses we have will be about how you're going to influence your team, how you're going to influence the people across the organization, how are you going to engage and communicate and do all of that. So you will take bits from it, and we can absolutely help you with the other, and we can keep you tracked online with your goals and your accountability. But I don't want to mislead you to think that we can help you build out your entrepreneurial career.
So it's not really when I go in and I go do a contract, for example, I will go in as previous role was a training manager. So I will go into 12 different countries, manage a team of trainers. I have to do a lot of stakeholder management and I have to interact with other people. So when I go in, I'm working as part of that corporation.
Okay.
So this is why I'm thinking it does apply for me, but at the same
Yeah,
time,
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not. I am a limited company who's on my own.
So
But
we
when I
do
go
have
into
people
the
who are limited companies, Barbara. We have got some, haven't we? I don't know. We've probably got about maybe 10% of the membership of people like that. Yeah, so we absolutely do.
a lot of the stuff you said resonates with me. So
Yeah.
a lot of the jobs
does,
I'm going, I've had a couple of contracts. That one of them has been fairly toxic, the environment that I've been in,
right.
and they have knocked my self-confidence. And I just really feel like this would help me just
We are brilliant on the
that
whole confidence thing,
and
aren't we,
that-
girls? Those of you who are in it, we absolutely are in for completely and utterly in that. And Barbara, what I would say is, what does your heart and your intuition tell you rather than your head?
In terms of joining you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what you need to listen to. You need to listen to what it is that your heart's telling you to do. So I think we will absolutely help. Oh, great, Deborah, lovely. That's what I like to see. Just joined. Yeah, that's amazing. Well, we welcome you on board. Yeah, well, I don't know. What do you think, girls? Do you members? Do you think we can help Barbara? They're probably going to go, yes, of course, Sandra.
I know a helpless cause now. Nobody says yes.
Yeah, you're under pressure now. Press the button and get on in. No, I think we can certainly help. And even if we did, maybe you do 3 or 6 months, Barbara, and then say, actually, it's been brilliant. Confidence is back up. I've got clarity. I know the environments I don't want to work in as well as those that I do. You will absolutely form a lovely community and friendships. Some of these women have got so many friends as a result of the program that's a nice part. But yeah, I'd love to see you. I'd love to have you in there. So listen to what your heart tells you. Awesome. I think we've got a wrap there. We are an hour. We're just over the hour. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you're going to join. Love your feedback. As I say, we are only open for another 10 days or so. So any information that you need, just shout. And yeah, can't wait to invite you. We've already had a few sign-ups from the conference as well. So we've got a lovely new cohort joining, which is very exciting for all of us. Yay, thank you, Paula. Yeah, thank you to Claire and the other Claire, and to Claire Smith and to Paula Chadwick and all the Claires. There is a Claire group on WhatsApp, actually, by the way. If you are called Claire, you are in that group. So no, thank you ever so much, everyone. Any questions, please just reach out to either me, Sandra at the WLA, or support at the WLA, and we will look forward to welcoming you to the gang. Take care.
Thanks, Sandra. Bye, everyone.
Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.